Hello, this is Broyar, and welcome back to another episode of our Let's Play for F1 Manager 2023. As we continue our run here with Alfa Romeo, doing pretty good so far this season. We are still back down to 6th, I should say. That last race, obviously, we did have a double crash, a crash of the game, and then a crash in the race, which unfortunately messed up Bottas getting more points. But he did race well otherwise, so I'm pretty happy with that overall. So I think we can still go after Alpine. Maybe Aston Martin is a little bit of a stretch. It's hard to say, but I think Alpine is definitely doable. Now, if we can get Piastri getting into points, which he's only a couple spots away, then maybe chasing down Aston Martin is a bit more of a reality. But if we pass Alpine, I'll be extremely happy with that. Going from 8th to 5th would be an awesome achievement. I moved ahead a little bit in the game, so we did get a couple things coming back up, just to try to make some more car development, manufacturing, I should say. I haven't started any more research or design or anything like that. I was going to wait for you guys for that. And I'm also going to take a look here. It looks like our weather center is down to 60%, so I'm going to go ahead and upgrade this. I think that is worthwhile. Plus, I was looking at the tour center, and it has no monthly upkeep. I know this had a monthly upkeep at one point. I say I would know. I'm pretty sure this had a monthly upkeep at one point. But now that it's $0 monthly upkeep, if that is in fact correct, then it actually is worth upgrading this thing, because it will cost me $100,000 to upgrade it, and I'll be getting $6,500 increase weekly income back. I assume it's for the entire year. That's 52 weeks out of the year. That's a little, it's about $320,000 for the year, which obviously is worth the upgrade. So we are definitely going to upgrade this. I don't think any reason not to, with no upkeep. So that looks like a good deal to us. Anything else we wanted to kind of look into? I don't think so. Everything else looks like it's still gonna be okay. So all this looks good. Anything here we need to look at? I don't think so. Let's go do our next research, or not research, design. We just did the rear wing. Probably the underfloor would be next, because we did just finish an underfloor. This will be our 4th underfloor, right? Correct? I'm sorry, no, we've already done the underfloor. I'm glad I checked. Yeah, there's underfloor 4 right there. Never mind. It's a good thing I checked. I was about to go crazy. So what is next on our list? Then probably either chassis or side pods. Both could be good. I think I'm gonna go for the chassis. Chassis is gonna have a little bit more aerodynamics attached to it in theory. So I think this will be a good one for us to get. Really? We can't drop it down. I must have accidentally put one, not dropped one down all the way then, because I feel like this would normally be 0. Maybe we got some extra somewhere. I don't think engine cooling is going to be super critical for us here. I think our engine cooling is already pretty solid. I mean, more is I'm not going to complain about, obviously. I mean, I'm sort of tempted to just go right down the middle here. Although, wait a minute, what am I saying? Right down the middle is actually not an increase here. So actually, I think we dropped the engine cooling down quite a bit. Still getting an increase in engine cooling, but gain something in the others. In fact, we'll go ahead and bump these up as well. Yeah, something like that. So basically keep the engine cooling right about where it is. Still gain something in these other ones. Do we gain any rankings? We don't actually get any rankings. So I don't know if this is really that great of a part, but I don't know. We'll go with it. It's an increase, right? It's still something. So we'll go with something like this and see what that does for us. 30 days on completion. This is a 10-day part, right? So we can drop that down to 20. We cannot. We'll start at 28, though. We might be able to get some more engineers thrown onto it later. And we'll go with that. We're already manufacturing all of our slots. We are. So that looks okay. Next race is very, very soon. So we're really not a lot of turnaround here. This month is a weird month because we do have 3 races in back-to-back weekends. So not a ton of time to wait for things. But I think after this, I think it's after this race that we have a little bit of a gap. I'm going to go ahead and put in some of the same stuff that we did last time. Although I am actually going to say both drivers qualify top 15. Is that worth more than one driver qualifying top 10? One driver qualifying top 10 is 142. This is 175. So, granted, this is a little bit harder to do, but we'll go with that. And then I'm going to say just one driver hits Q3, obviously. Oh, up here, it's both drivers hitting Q2. Which not going to be easy, but definitely possible. Um, I mean, I could say both drivers hit top 15, which is 192. Or I could say one driver hit top 8, which is 180. What's easier to do? I'm gonna go with one driver hitting top 8. I think this is a little bit easier to do. In theory. We'll find out. I mean, this just means if Bottas crashes out, we don't get it. Whereas the other one means if either of them crashes out, we don't get it. So I think this is probably better. One thing I did want to check real quick. Did we get, for a moment in the last race, we actually had, oh, there we go. Oh, that's fastest pit stops. For a moment in the last race, we had fastest lap. I don't know where that's tracked. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we don't get a point for fastest lap, or if we do, I didn't see it. But I thought we actually had fastest lap for a moment there. Maybe we only had it for a little bit and somebody else passed us towards the end, but I thought we actually held on to it because it was actually late in the race that we got fastest lap. Oh well, no big deal. Let's get into Monte Carlo. This is going to be a tough one, I think. Yeah, I'm just not sure if I feel super confident about this one, but we'll see how it goes.
Welcome along to one of the biggest weekends in motorsport.
All right. By the way, I have been swapping Piastri out for Theo because I've been trying to get Bottas as many points as we can get him. So I figured it was less of an impact to swap Piastri out because he should still get full skill ups, I think. Even if he misses the first practice, I think he gets a lot of skill ups for being in the race itself for sure. So I think this is the right move. But I'll bring you guys back once I get through qualifying and we'll get ready for the race. All right, we're back. Qualifying was maybe mixed results because Piastri did make it to Q2 again, which is, good. Just barely. I mean, he made it to Q2 actually pretty well, but then he just barely, was at the bottom. Maybe he was at the very bottom, I guess I should say. So not too great, but then Bottas also did not qualify too well. He was down in 8th. So I definitely wish that Bottas was better. If he was up in like 5th or higher, I might actually try a little bit more in this next race. And what I mean by that is I'm actually going to put on our ever so slightly not maximum engine because I feel like this is probably a good race to run the lesser parts just to kind of get some race, out of them without having to, switch over to this last one. I did this one for qualifying just because I wanted to make sure we had the best one for qualifying. But I think we can move this other one in for now. Tempted to run this one, but minimum lifespan 64%. Wait, what? I'm confused with what that means. Does it mean before low 64%? Because I figured it would have turned yellow by now. Huh. Maybe I'm misunderstanding what that means, but I'll go look it up here in a minute. What about the ERS? What's that one? 59? That doesn't look right. Something, because I thought those were like down to 40s or something like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm misunderstanding how those are working, but I'll put this on you. That's fine. That gearbox is okay, or that ERS is okay, and then this gearbox, of course. All right, now all that looks good. Just making sure we had the slightly lesser engine. So Bottas' engine is not, it's below that 65% mark that we would like to see it at, but honestly, it's still going to be pretty good, I think, overall. All right, let's go into our strategies, though. I don't think we had any rain or anything like that, right? No. So, what do we want to run here? I mean, we could run mediums and probably push the hards a little bit. Probably something like that. Probably pretty good. I mean, it's a few seconds faster than the soft strategy. But really it just comes down to whether or not running like a soft, medium. I don't know if we can run soft or not, but we'll plug it in for a second. Running something like this is any better or not. I have my doubts, but you never know. It's not quite going to work. We can replace the middle one with hards, and that'll get us a little bit more out of it. All right, go something like that. See what that looks like compared to the other one. It is 15 seconds faster than what we're running right now. Now, I expect this pit stop. It's still not showing the correct seconds. I expect the pit stop is, is in that 20 to 30 second range. 15 seconds with the ability to push a bit more is starting to become a bit more reasonable. What if we swap this last stint to mediums? Like right now, we're already gaining 3 seconds apparently. Could I just push all 3 stints like crazy? Just about. Like very, very close to being able to push all of these stints. There we go. 7 seconds right there. I mean, we'll have to back off a little bit in a couple stints here and there, but that's better, right? Like that's a 22-second difference from this other strategy, which again, most of the pit stops seem to be about 20-second loss. Some of them are a little bit longer, some of them a little bit shorter, I think, but for the most part, 22 seconds around that ballpark is pretty good. So I think actually we'll run with this strategy. This is it's a kind of a little bit of a crazy strategy, but I think it's going to work. I think you're going to run the same strategy, honestly. So we're going to add a stint of mediums here at the end. I think you guys will be far enough apart that you guys should be able to pit on the same stuff here. Something like that. Close enough. Cool. I like it. Let's go. Don't think we're going to overfuel in this race. I mean, it only adds 1.1 kilogram to be fair, but I don't know that that really gained us as much as I would. And plus, this is a race that's hard to pass in anyway, so I don't think overfueling is going to be quite what we're looking for. Nope. I think I like the way it is right now, so we're going to go ahead and just run it out as is. I don't know what to expect from this. Now, the extra pit stops might be a waste because it is hard to pass on this track, but so maybe this is a bad idea, but we'll play it out because it is quite a bit faster in general. I mean, it's not like it's impossible to pass; it's just harder to pass, right?
The streets of Monte Carlo are ready. It's time for one of the most exciting races in the world. This is the Monaco Grand Prix, and it's lights out, and away we go.
You will have energy when you need it.
Copy.
All right, Bottas already losing a spot here early in the race. There he goes. Astro moved up a spot temporarily. Now he dropped back a little bit again. Not a lot of DRS zones on this track either. I mean, obviously the one. So, and even that one's relatively short. So our DRS advantages are going to be basically worthless on this track. Although I will say that is one of the better places to try to pass people. So it still helps. I don't know why I didn't go double speed. I mean, he's hanging in there. He'll be all right. So we'll let this run. I'll bring you guys back again if something crazy or something good happens. All right, we're back. 3 laps to go in this race, and we are currently in 4th place with Bottas. Don't think we're gonna catch 3rd place. The double pit did work out. We were able to chase down. We actually came out of the 2nd pit, I think, in 8th or 9th, and we were able to chase down Hamilton, Sainz, Stroll, Alonso there. I mean, we really were able to push through those pretty well. But as you can see, Leclerc is he's just fast. He's really fast. So I don't think we're catching him at all. Piastri actually got into an accident early in the race. In fact, he got an accident right there. You can see the dip in his softs. The only thing that did get damaged was his suspension, but it was major damage, so it definitely is slowing him down. I mean, he's able to stay on the race. I mean, I guess that's good. I mean, at the end of the day, it is going to blow up our top 15 finish, you know, thing, but that's unfortunate. I mean, it is because the crash, right? There's nothing you can do about it. We are coming up on the last lap, so we can go ahead and, we're not going to push fuel, but we can go ahead and full deploy there. We're actually going to take off the battle assist. I don't think we need that. You, Piastri, I think Piastri, did you get lapped yet? You got lapped? Yeah, I think you got lapped by a few people, right? So we'll go ahead, and your fuel is actually not great. We're going to put you on conserve for a moment because we definitely don't want to run out of fuel. Not that losing 2 more spots would make that much of a difference, but we'll run you here, see if we can get back into a good place there, and just finish in a good spot. We did get the fastest lap, so I don't remember if that was the free one or not, but if it is the free one, because I don't usually put it on there for myself. But now that we have gotten fastest lap in a couple races, maybe we can keep pushing for fastest lap, and I might keep putting that on there to get us a little bit extra money. Piastri 18th, so he wasn't last. You know, for a guy who has damage to his car, not being last is fine. Okay, so we just got the achievement for finishing with the fastest lap. So this is our first fastest lap. We did have it for a little while in the last race. I know that, but I guess I just didn't notice who passed us. But no, 4th place. We didn't get podium, but we do get an extra point, right? Because it's 12 points for 4th, and we get the extra point for fastest, correct? I think. Or is it just always 13 points for 4th? I actually suddenly don't remember. But yeah, there we go. Looking good there. And then we did move back past Alpine. Barely, but we are past Alpine in this one here. So looking all right there. Now Aston Martin's still putting some numbers up. So I don't expect us to catch Aston Martin, but you never know. We did not get the 2 fastest pistons. Wow, Red Bull on an 1.874. That is insanely fast. So we do have to be a little bit kind of keep an eye on Red Bull. We are still putting points on above them, but the fact that they're up there in the mix with us does, you know, make me a little nervous. Should be okay though. So we did have to pay out the driver bonus, but we did get a bunch of performance stuff. We didn't get the finish position streak, which is very unfortunate, but we got a lot of other money. 4 million for that race is really good. And 4 days. Okay, so we do have one more race that's 4 days away. So I couldn't remember if that was the middle one or if that was the third one. Yeah, all these races just stacked on top of each other. It's kind of crazy. So inspections, we did lose our suspension. Of course, we knew that. We were building a new suspension, though, which should be out, I hope. If not, we're going to have to emergency manufacture a suspension. Let's see. Actually, we're going to go back to car number 1, because I'd rather you have the better suspension if it's available. It is. So I'm going to put you on that one, and then car number 2 gets to use the old suspension that's probably beat up and it's going to fall apart one of these days soon. But we are building more, so we'll get that taken care of here. Do we have any more car parts coming out soon? And we have another underfloor. Again, well, obviously we have another suspension. I think we're okay for the moment. No designs coming up here in the next few days. Cool. All right. Any facility issues? Nothing there. Nothing there. Everything else here looks okay for now, so we're good there. Pit crew is exhausted. Did we forget to rest them? Oh, they are going to be. What happened to the pit crew? Oh, this is bad. They're going to be exhausted for the race. That is really bad. What in the world happened? I mean, I put all this stuff down here, but I checked this before. I wonder what could cause that. It's very strange to me. I mean, we can't do anything about it. We're already resting, so it's unfortunate, but whatever. There's our manufacturing for our suspension. Let's make sure we've got that. So we do have the second one on here, right? Do I go ahead and put one of these new ones? No, I don't think we put anyone on here. We'll just leave you off the first level of that. Any other parts that we want to move around? Better underfloor? Sure, yeah. I'll give you that one, and then we can give car number 2 this one. Give him a slight upgrade. Side pods, we're okay for now. Although, honestly, we have 4 of these. I actually think we can go ahead and afford to put that on car 2. Rear wing, It's a little bit scarier to put this on car 2, but it's probably less scary than leaving this one on here. So I think we will go ahead and put one of those on car 2. That's gonna be fine. Front wing, I'm okay with the split for right now. We do still want to have a spare. And then finally chassis, this goes on car 1, and car 2 can bump up to this one. So nice little boost up for car 2. That's not bad. If we look at our car analysis for overall here, I mean, this is car 1. I think this is a little bit misleading. I feel like we're better than this. I could be wrong. Yeah, this is totally misleading because obviously car 2 is showing us better, which makes no sense. I think it's misleading based on some parts not being fully set up and whatever. It could also be basing it off the engine as well, come to think of it. I wonder if the engine, how much of a difference the engine makes on some things. Anyway, all right, that's all done. We do want to, let's see, we're still developing, but we can manufacture here. Okay, let me go back and look at the cars for a second. Are we missing anything specifically? I'm assuming we're still manufacturing some of those. Yes, we are. I mean, a spare front wing is probably not a bad idea. So let me come back to that. Rear wing, we're fine for the moment. Side pods, we're fine for the moment. Underfloors, I'm assuming we're still manufacturing those. We are. So I'm good with that. And then finally, suspension, I'm assuming we're still manufacturing. We did just do the 2, right? Because we are redesigning a new suspension currently. I'm going to start with the front wing. We're just going to do 1, just so we have an extra spare just floating about. But we might, right after that, do another suspension. We'll have to see. Yeah, because the next suspension is not going to be for 21 days. All right, let's go race prep. Set up some targets here. I'm going to say both drivers be in the top 15 again. And we're going to say both drivers hit Q2. I mean, it's tight for Piastri, but we did just give him a lot of parts. So that's why I'm hoping that will work out. I'm actually going to plug in fastest lap, because why not? If we get it, that's awesome. We only lose 52,000 bucks if we don't. Fastest or finish position streak. I'm going to leave it on 15th or higher. The only reason he didn't do it there was because he crashed, and he's got a lot better parts now. So I'm going to leave that one on there, and we'll see how that works out. Cool. I'm happy with that. Barcelona. I don't know how good we're going to do on this one. I actually don't have any concept of how good I think we'll do here.
Thank you for
I mean, we did 4th on that last one, so top 5 for Bottas again would be amazing. If we got Piastri consistently top 15 and then flirting with points, I would be happy with that as well. Still no pit stops. That is so weird. Hopefully there's another patch at some point from, I think there will be one more patch at least from the F1 Manager team, but yeah, this one definitely a few issues, which, you know, this is not the end of the world. I mean, it is nice to know this number. It's not the end of the world to not know it, I suppose. And I'm sure I could look it up somewhere that somebody's got it recorded, or I can even go look up my old recordings and just make a list and have those set off to the side so I know what they are. All right, we're going to swap Piastri around for Theo. And obviously change out some car parts here. Do I run? I mean, we got 4th with an engine that was a little bit below the line. Do I run it again? I think it depends on how we do in qualifying. If we're like up there in the top 3 in qualifying, then no. I don't think we run it again. And because I think we actually have a chance of getting that podium finish, which is amazing. But if we're like down 8th, 9th, whatever like that, then it's going to be like, okay, you know what? Fine. It's not a big deal. We'll just run the race. If we get some points, we get some points. If we don't, we don't. We are going to have to buy a whole set of just about everything for these guys, I think. I'm going to try and run this one practice. It's a little dangerous, but hopefully we can get that done. Everything else looks okay. If we get one more practice out of that, that'll be very good. Oh, I didn't actually plug in my stuff. I'll get my stuff set up, and I'll bring you guys back for after qualifying. Well, qualifying's over, but it did not go how I expected. Piastri actually got into Q3, not Bottas, and Bottas' highest was 11th. So, I'm gonna have to go check the cars again after this. Did I put the wrong parts in the wrong people, or are my new parts not better for some reason? That seems like it would be odd, because I wouldn't have created them if they didn't look like they were better. All right, it's kind of a weird, kind of weird. I'll have to check over here in a minute, because it did show his car being worse, But I thought there was just something wrong with at what point it took that snapshot, so to speak. You know, I don't, something's off with the parts. I hope that like the parts that we were designing when the patch released didn't get messed up somehow. And somehow we ended up with different parts. Is that possible? I don't know if that's possible or not. It might be. Well, on that note, we are definitely not going to run him on the better engine because I just don't think there's a point. So we're going to go ahead and run the other engine just to get some more hours on it. And honestly, your engine's probably going to be fine too. You're in top 10, but not super worried about that either. It's weird. I don't know what happened. I'm going to have to, again, I think it's got to be something with the way the parts are set up. I might have, maybe I put on worse parts and I just wasn't paying attention. But the only way that, again, I would not have crafted the parts if they didn't say at the time that they were better. So I'm a little confused. We'll get into it after this race. Not a big deal. You have no softs, apparently. That's strange. What happened to your softs? What, do you not have a... Yeah, you got... Yeah, you must have... That's weird. Why would you not have any softs? You didn't even make it to Q3. You must have used some in practice for some reason, which is really unusual. I really don't know how to set this up for you, my friend. Probably something like that. Yeah. Do you happen to have an extra set of mediums? You do. So you ran softs in practice and did not have... That is really strange that you would have done that. Like, I automate the practice. I don't run it. But I've never seen them do this before, which is really weird. I mean, something like that, maybe. Is that any better here than the one we've got right now? It is 12 seconds faster. Yeah, that is significantly better. I mean, there's no way to run like double hards, is there? That's not a thing, is it? No, I didn't think so. I was just making sure. I guess we run this and at least be a little bit aggressive here. Yeah, I guess. You, however, should have more softs, I think. No, you have... Oh, no, that's right, because you made it to Q3, so I expect you to not have softs. So, yeah, we're just going to go on to do another medium, hard medium, I think. Oh, you don't... Oh, but you ran your mediums during practice correctly, so we actually don't have double mediums for you. So it's a little bit of an opposite problem with you. That's weird. All right, whatever. We'll just run a semi-normal first stint and then kind of go from there. I mean, it's going to have to be something like that and then that, but like run them hard a little bit less at some point. So we'll run this strategy. It's not ideal, but it's going to have to work. Still 7 seconds faster than just being passive here. All right, we'll go with that. Again, we'll have to adjust kind of things there a little bit, but otherwise it should be okay. I think I'm okay with the way everything's set up. Again, this is a really strange to see them flip-flop like that. I mean, I'm glad to see Piastri improve. That's awesome. But I don't have an immediate exclamation for Bottas being worse without getting done with this race and checking out the cars here in a moment. Something goofed with the car development, which is unfortunate. I guess we'll watch Piastri. I mean, he's technically ever so slightly ahead. He's in the lane next to him, but he is technically ahead. Oh, there goes Bottas. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if we get points at all from this race at this point, I guess it's a win because I'm not expecting any. This is going to be a really awkward race, I think. I'm a little surprised to see Piastri starting to drop off after he did so well in qualifying, but yes, it is what it is. You could probably run one more on the hard, but you really need to drop down to aggressive immediately for at least one lap, and then we can drop you down to your normal pace after that. I mean, I think this situation just comes down to Bottas being the better driver at the moment. Oh, come on, Piastri, stay close. There are 2 DRS zones on this track, so I'd like you to stay close if you can, but it does not look like you're going to. That's unfortunate. All right, you can stay... no, you're going to go ahead and drop down to aggressive and also top up. You are going to drop down to standard and top up. Keep pushing the fuel, though. First DRS coming up here. Right, as long as both drivers get these DRSs, I think we'll be okay. They're spread apart enough that as long as we stay relatively close, we should be able to take advantage of most laps. Piastri did not get it there because he did pass on that first one. He's not going to get the second one, I mean, because he did pass on the first one, so I guess that's fine. Now he's got to hunt down Ocon. All right, I'll bring you guys back if or when anything crazy happens. We'll see. All right, with 3 laps to go, and Bottas did move his way up to 6, although he's a little bit low on fuel, so we're going to back that off a little bit. He might get past here, but we got plenty of ERS to get back in front again if we can. If we didn't have the fuel problem, we might have been able to catch 5th place. Maybe. I doubt it, though. Let's just get the fuel back into a happy place, and then we will be able to be a little bit more aggressive here. Piastri's actually up in 11th. He's not going to catch 10th, so he's not going to get points, but he's not going to miss it by much, which is really awesome. He's actually had a few spin outs along the way, so truth be told, he probably should have been able to get 10th if he hadn't had all those spin outs. But all right, we are 2 laps to go. Do I dare try to catch? I don't think we can do it in 3 seconds. I mean, we could push the tires. We can go attack on the tires. We can't push the fuel. We might be able to deploy a little bit here. I might have to... This might be a mistake. We're going to go for it, because why not? And do we turn off the... Yeah, we turn off the assist. Because we're in open air here. We want to... I don't think we can track him down. We'll give it a lap, maybe. And then we might save the last of it for defending off the guy behind us. I mean, we are closing the gap a little bit here, which is a little surprising. But I can't imagine we're able to catch this guy. You never know. I mean, we're not impossibly far away. Actually, we are catching him. What in the world? I'm so shocked by this. All right, we're going to turn back on the ERS battle assist. Wait a minute. Oh, that was a lapped guy. I was confused. I was like, how are we catching this guy so fast? I mean, we are still closing on Alpine here, but not going to be fast enough, I would imagine. Piastri did drop down up 1. He can go full deploy here. I should have done that a little bit sooner. He can actually go full push here, and he can go full attack. Okay. Hopefully he can get that one back. I was my mistake for not paying attention to him as much, but I think he can get that one back. Bottas, are you going to be able to catch him at all? We're starting to gap Russell a little bit. Maybe. I don't think there's enough time. I think if we had one more lap, I think we might have been able to do this. But I just don't think there's enough time here to catch him and pass him.
Over the finish line and
yeah, there's no way. There's no way there's enough time here, right? Something crazy is going on, though. Okay, we were out of... If we hadn't run out of ERS there, maybe, but... That's all right. That's all right. 6th place, considering how things started, is a very good finish. I mean, in theory, we could have caught him if I maybe planned that a little bit better, but I honestly didn't think we were going to be able to. That'll teach me, I guess. Piastri 11th, honestly, is pretty good, all things considered. So, Piastri's not far from being points, and Bottas was able to go from 11th up to 6th, which is really good, obviously. I do still need to figure out what is going on with Bottas's car, because his qualifying was just atrociously bad, which tells me that the numbers that we saw earlier were accurate, and which also tells me that his points were his parts are a little wonky, which I don't know how that happened. So we did just drop down behind Alpine because Alpine had an incredibly good race. They had the 2nd most number of points behind Red Bull, which is insane. So it's going to be a battle back and forth between us and Alpine, it looks like. I mean, I'll be happy with 6, to be perfectly honest. Alpine is just bonus points, really, for us. We did not get the 2 fastest pit stops, but we did get 1st and 3rd, so we're still getting the most points. Still in a good place there. It's still kind of a little crazy that Red Bull is up there with us, but we knew that the other teams were going to get there eventually, so it is what it is. We did not get fastest lap. It was a little bit of a gamble, but I mean, I should have known going out of qualifying that we weren't going to get fastest lap there. All right, let's first off, let's check the cars, because obviously I'm assuming we have some parts that are bad. I'm just going to check everything else. Okay. Yeah, we do have some failed parts, so let's get the cars updated here. Front wing, we'll replace that. Side pods, we'll replace that. Good stuff there. Car 2, just the suspension, so we will swap you out for one of these. We are building another one of those, I believe. Let's check that. No, we're not. So we just got the 2 at the moment. I'll take a look at that here in a second. I just want to check the car analysis again. So we're back on car 1. No, okay. No, this is fine. And again, I think this is more accurate. I feel like, yeah, I don't know what's going on with the other, what we saw before. Yeah, this is what I would expect. 6th, 3rd, 3rd is probably fine, and then 2nd, 4th, 4th. I mean, yeah, they're going to be different parts. I get that. I mean, we can take a look at the parts again just to kind of see what we're looking at here. I mean, if we look at, so this is saying that it's a gain for car 1, but it's less engine cooling. So that's a big question. And it's so weird that this was that bad. So we would gain a little bit of high speed if we move down to this chassis. But we do get better engine cooling with the other one, which honestly, engine cooling is still important. It's not like we're losing a lot, but it's something, and it's more than I was expecting. I don't know how to read into this. We're still manufacturing chassis, aren't we? Yeah, we still got a couple more coming in. So we kind of need to use these. But honestly, what might happen is we might put this one on car 1 and this one on car 2, which is weird and backwards. But I'd rather have the better performance on car 1 and then have car 2 be slightly less performant overall. Yeah, I think this is fine. I don't know what got wonky there, but we'll go with that. Let's check the front wings as well. Did these get wonky too? No, these are legitimately better. FW2 is legitimately better. So that's a good place. Cool. I'm happy with that. Rear wings. Yeah, these are definitely worse. If I go down away from rear wing 3, that's good. I mean, it's not just the chassis. Obviously, that's not the only thing that's throwing us off, for sure. Now, we know the first side pods had better top speed because we were reducing top speed intentionally. Now, this is fine. It's not a huge increase, but SP3 is a better piece. And then, let's see here, underfloor 4. So this one's a little bit of gain in the cornering on low speed and medium speed, but less gain. We got to lose a lot of top speed. So no, this is the underfloor we want to have on car 1. I'm okay with this underfloor for car 2. This all looks good. We definitely made that sacrifice on purpose. And then this is the weird one because this is the one we're gaining a lot of brake cooling with this suspension, but we are losing a bit of the low speed and medium speed. So something to take into account. But I think overall the improvements, other than the chassis, which is, I don't know how that happened, I think I'm pretty happy with. Okay. So that's all done. Let me go check again these things real quick. So we do want to make sure we're doing more chassis, which we are. Front wings. Are we doing any more front wings? We are not. Do we want another front wing? No, not as long as we got them split up. We still have a spare front wing for car 1. I think that's okay. Rear wings, we got 3. That's fine for now. We're going to do some more design here in a little bit. Side pods, again, we got 3. That should be enough for now. Underfloors here. As long as we're making some more, we are. Then I'm okay with this split. And finally, suspension, we do need more. I think we need at least one more suspension, just in case, unless the other suspension is about to come up here very soon, which it is 17 days, so it's not very soon. So I think just to be safe, we should manufacture one suspension. It's a lot cheaper for us to manufacture it right now than, I mean, it's 300,000 bucks. That's not a lot. We can get that money back with a fastest lap, achievement or something like that, in one of the races. So we'll get that going. Now, granted, I get that this goes against our cost cap, so it's not like the money we get from the race is purely what's going to get us that, but I've just got to use that as an example. don't read too much into it. Okay, we do need to do another car design, right? Oh no, I'm sorry. We got 7 days with the front wing, so we're good there. Cool. Anything that I can change around here? Are any of these, because sometimes as time goes on, they kind of shift around and things look a little bit better. Like if I were to take one away from here, you're still getting done in 7 days, right? So in fact, I could technically take 2 away from here and get you done in 8 days, which is probably still plenty of time to get one out. or Montreal. In fact, I can go all the way down to 2. Let's try that. Let's see if that does anything for us. Because if I can spread some of these other runs around to some of these other parts, that would be great. So we're on 16 days here. We need, this is a chassis, so we need 10 days sooner than whatever it is. So if we can get it under 15, we can get it done for Spielberg. Right there, there's 15 right there. Let's go with 15 and see if that gets it done in time. Happy with that. Then next would be suspension, maybe. Same kind of argument though. But this is an 8-day part. So we need to get it done before 20. So 25, actually, this is fine. In theory, this might be done in time for Spielberg for the first part, right? 8 days plus 17 is 25. We're 25 days away from that. Theoretically, that will work. Okay. And then finally, last but not least, rear wing. We need 3 days extra, which we are not quite there. So we definitely need to throw another one in there. That will get us to 25. Actually, if we can throw one more, will that get us to 19? It will, which might be enough to get 2 rear wings for both our cars. Now that both our cars are flirting with points, I do want to get the second car built up a bit, like a little bit. I do need to make sure I save money for more engines, ERS, and probably gearboxes. Definitely engines and ERS. 100% we need those. The gearboxes we might be able to limp to the end of the season, but the other two are they're gonna wear out. It's just inevitable. Even with our lower threshold for damage, we are gonna lose the engine at some point. But it's not gonna be too big of a deal. Although I will say this, right? I didn't. One thing about the engine is that we do have a lower power loss threshold, but also, yeah. I think we can run these a little bit longer than I'm running them. I think what I'm doing now is fine, where I'm running them in situations where it looks like we're not going to do like amazing things, although we still did good stuff in that last race. Had I run a better engine that last race, Bottas definitely chases down the guy in front of him. But I didn't know that going into it. And I think the fact that he got as close as he did with the lesser engine tells me that the lesser engine is not that bad, if you know what I mean. So anything with facilities we want to mess with? Not yet. Nothing here. And nothing here. Cool. We're good on all these. Weather Center's going to get upgraded for whatever that's worth. Is that? I mean, yeah, I guess that's it. Let's go ahead and get all the way up to the next race, but I think we will probably, we're going to have a front wing here in a few days. We will probably be able to call the episode there. I guess I'm going to keep upgrading this thing, because it's going to continue to give us, this is actually even cheaper upgrade. Interesting. So yeah, it's still going to continue to give us more money back than than we spend into it, right? If I'm reading that correctly. Okay, all that's done. We got some manufacturing done, I suppose. Is that what that just said? No, I must have misread it. Designs coming up in 4 days. Oh, I didn't check our pit crew. Yeah, we're completely exhausted. I don't know. We'll check it here in a month, or in a day, I should say, and see what it looks like. Hopefully we're going to be fine, because it's a little weird that obviously the board is highly confident with us, delighted with most things. It's interesting that it still shows disappointed for races from last year, right? Is that but I guess those are still fresh on their minds. We are, yeah, they're disappointed with the objectives. That makes sense. But everything else is delighted, and we're still doing good. So another point, a couple more points for Bottas. That's good. I mean, he dropped a lot of points for being old, but now he's getting some back. So I guess it's all fine. A couple points of smoothness, adaptability. That's good. Reactions, good stuff. Smoothness, great. Overtaking, he definitely needs the overtaking. He's definitely very low on that. All in all that looks pretty good. We are on June 1st. I'm surprised it didn't ask me to reset up my pit crew. That's weird. Maybe it's about to give it to me the message, but okay, we definitely need to figure out what's going on here, because we need a cumulative. Yeah, we're completely exhausted, so we got to go full rest. It's not even making a dent. Okay, there we go. We're getting a little bit of a dent now, so gotta go. We're basically have to rest until the race. There's nothing we can do for this one. I don't know how we missed it or messed up there, and even this is not going to get us fully out of the clear. I don't know what happened. What what triggers that we were that far off. I don't actually know. So yeah, this is bad. We're gonna have a pretty high mistake chance on race day, and because something mathed wrong. Maybe I didn't have a cumulative last month, and I thought I did. That's possible. We're actually gonna go ahead and come up here and can I do rest? Fatigue reduction. Okay, we'll do custom full rest. All right, so now we're actually finally getting back to like relatively okay place. But I will have to. I can start putting some stuff in here after this race. This race is just gonna be bad. It's unfortunate. So we're gonna look at this one. We got a little bit of wiggle room. Let me put on a couple gym trainings. Let me just make sure those are not gonna drop anymore. They are not. Pretty sure we're capped on that number. Are we capped on all of the? Yeah, well, these are 93. So it's really just the building. So we'll go back to just car building. I don't know why I'm putting this spaced out. There's no reason. We'll give you guys a day off every once in a while. All right, that's a little bit too low. So we'll go take that one off. That looks good. And then this one, we can probably do one more here, maybe. Maybe a double day. Okay, that looks good. Those numbers look okay. I can live with those numbers. I mean, at some point, we might want to not even be, like I said, tired at all. But as long as we still got a little bit more car building points that we can gain, which is just going up a little bit slower than some of these other ones, obviously. But, you know, it is what it is. We'll keep getting that up because why not? Cool. I'm okay with this. I think this looks good other than Canada. So we'll deal with Canada later. Sponsor obligations. Yeah, we'll skip it. Makes him happy. I'm okay with that. It's going to lose us a little bit of money, but I think it's fine. Okay. Front wing's done. Manufacturing for the suspension is done. So if we go to the cars, go here. Are you already using? You're already using. Yeah, we've got that on both cars. We got a spare now. Front wing. If we can get a front wing out real quick and in a hurry, that will make things pretty good because this is a better part by a reasonably good margin. So other than brake cooling. Yep, definitely a better part. So we're definitely gonna start manufacturing a bunch of these. Is this our last one? No, we got one more we can manufacture. So we'll get like 4 of these out, I guess. Just so we have some spares. And I guess we'll do some car part development. Did we do another front wing? Yeah, I think so. No hours. All right, we're gonna lower that. We're going to lower all these because these are less valuable to me than the stuff up here. I guess one of the things I do have to think about is that the rank on grid here. Oh, that's my problem. The rank on grid here is based on the part we have currently equipped, and we haven't equipped the new part yet. And so that's probably been my problem this whole time, is that I'm basing it based off this number, and this number is off the current part. Yeah, okay, that's fair. That is fair. I mean, I think we can still use these numbers as a rough guideline, because obviously min-maxing these numbers is the way I want to be is still good, and in theory that's still going to be a good part. And as our expertise has been going up, that should be a better part than the previous one. We just won't be able to see how much better until the other part is actually on the car. If we can get two levels on both. Well, see, this is our front wing. Front wing is not supposed to be our high-speed one, right? I mean, it can be, I suppose. Guess there's nothing wrong with it. Honestly, I'm tempted to just do something like that. Be happy that we're getting a little bit of front wing boost. Medium speed is going to go up to first place in theory. And get a little bit of dirty air tolerance. Still getting a little bit of brake cooling. Not getting any low speed. I would actually like to get some low speed if we could, but what if I just went full low speed? It's not going to be enough to get us first. Okay, then I think we go with I think we just go with right down the middle here, because I actually think this is a halfway decent part. You can always lower the low speed, but I don't think that's what we're going to look for. suppose I can bump that up a couple notches. Might as well. I mean, if it's going to give us a good enough boost from high speed, we might as well take advantage of it. High speed's still important. So how are we looking? It's not a bad part. I'm okay with this. Yeah, why not? Normal. Let's see. We wanted to get it done. If I get it down to 42 days, we can at least get one for that one. Okay, we can get it down to 41 days. That works. And this will be a normal. This will be our 4th design overall, counting the very first one we start with. Still doing normal though, because that's going to be the cheapest amount of money, because I think that was our biggest issue, not the timing necessarily. That feels pretty good. So we're doing 3 number 4s. We got the suspension coming up here soon. We're definitely, we're almost done with our 4s, and then we'll start doing pure research after that. I think I'm pretty happy with the way things are going. Because I feel like, unless, I mean, I don't really know because it's not showing the projected properly, but I'm just going to go based off our spent, I guess, remaining, and assume that we haven't even spent half of it. So we should be in a really good spot overall. Cool. All right. I think on that note right there, we are going to go ahead and put a cut in there. But when we come back, we'll come back for the Canadian Grand Prix and hopefully have some pretty decent cars for that, right? I mean, we're getting up there in the ranks, right? I mean, even our top speed is up to 6. That is impressive. That is impressive. Now, that might be, again, I don't know how much of this is related to the cars that have not gotten improvements yet or not, but this is really good, right? I think we can be pretty happy with that. Even car 2 should be still a reasonably good. This is a really good car, honestly. This is fine. There's nothing wrong with that car at all. If we were to look at Alpine as one of our biggest competitors right now, we're beating them on. Actually, they've got a really good car. Did they really have like almost the second best car in the whole thing? Is that true? I mean, this is a top 5 car. That is insane. Good on them. How is Mercedes? Okay, some of these numbers are not right. Because again, as people get damaged inspections coming out of races, I don't think it updates these numbers, because there's no way Mercedes has the worst car, right? Like, or one of the worst cars. Yeah, these numbers are wrong. Red Bull's running a bad engine right now, things like that. These numbers are a little bit off, I think. So I'm not going to read too much into that. All right, we will go ahead and put a cut in there when we come back. Like I said, Canada, and a little more development. And very soon, very, very soon, we'll just be doing pure research. And I think that'll be good for us. I do appreciate you guys watching. May God bless you. And I hope you join me again next time. Thank you and goodbye. I wanted to give a special shout out to the following channel members. Thank you so much for supporting the channel.